In today's video, I'm going to show you how I created this eye look, which is a long-lasting eye look. I will be only using long-lasting products to make sure that this eyeshadow is gonna stay flawless all day. Now before I go in with any eyeshadow, I first prime my eyelids and I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Paint Pot in the color Soft Ochre. If you want to make sure your eyeshadow stays flawless, you definitely want to prime your eyelids as your first step. And I absolutely love the MAC one. I have been using it for years and it's just my ride or die. And to apply this, I'm using the Sigma Beauty Peaked. It has one side with a matte product and one side with a shimmery product. And both of these products are like a cream product. So I'm gonna start with the matte side and I'm gonna use the applicator of the product itself to apply it all over the eyelid. You can see it has kind of like a brownish reddish color. It's really beautiful and it's also quite dark, so maybe you're like, whoa, that's quite dark, kind of scary to start with. But don't worry, we're gonna blend it out. And I have been using this product before and it's just a really easy product to use because the consistency is really easy to blend out, and once it's dry it's gonna stay in place flawless. So this is a perfect product for if you want to make sure that your eyeshadow is gonna stay flawless all day, especially for like if you have a really long day, if you have a special occasion which might take many hours, or even for bridal makeup, because I have only been to a bridal once and I had no idea that a wedding can be so emotional. So especially if you know you're gonna cry, then you want to make sure that your makeup is gonna stay flawless, especially your eye makeup, since when you cry this is the most effective place. So yeah, I started blending it out. Now I switched to a tinier brush. This was a bit more easier to kind of blend in the inner corner of my eye. I'm just sweeping my brush back and forth until I'm satisfied with how it's looking. And the one that I used is the Sigma E40, and right now I'm using more of a tinier blending brush, which is also by Sigma, which both are included in my brush kit which I created with Sigma. It's still out of stock unfortunately because of coronavirus. The fabric of Sigma is not able to get it back real soon, but as soon as it's back I'll definitely let you guys know, because it's just an amazing brush kit and I can't wait for you guys to try it. So after I just kept blending and blending, I felt like it was already starting to look really good. You can see that the transition in my crease area is starting to look really soft, and that's definitely what we want. So just continue to do this until you're satisfied. Then I went back in with the Sigma E40, blended a little bit more of that in the crease, and then of course I started doing the same with the other side of my eye. Now for the next step, I'm gonna take the shimmery side from that same Matte and Metal liquid eyeshadow from Huda Beauty. Again, I'm using the applicator to apply it all over the eyelid. And then I took a tiny blending brush again from Sigma Beauty and I'm going to kind of tap it on top of the product and also kind of blending it a bit more upwards. So the glitter kind of moves towards the crease a bit more higher, but the reason I'm not using the applicator of the product to do this, because it's just gonna make it look like really harsh. You want like most product to be like in the center of the eyelid, and then once you go upwards you kind of want it to be more soft and not as harsh as on the eyelid. So really I hope that makes sense. You can also apply a little bit more of that metallic product on the back of your hand. Dip your brush in it and then add a little bit more if you're not satisfied with how much you applied. This is also something I do. I kind of keep adding a little bit more of the product when I feel like there's not enough. And by doing it like just adding a little bit more and a little bit more, then you won't have a problem that it's gonna look maybe too intense. You want to kind of build it up by going more and more. Just take your time with this. this to create a wing liner. To use. I also made a separate video on how I like to apply my eyeliner on top of glitter. I will make sure to link it down in the description bar. But applying liquid liner on top of gel eyeliner is gonna make it more long lasting. It's going to make it more stand out, more black, but definitely the most important thing is that it's gonna make it more long lasting, and that's what this video is all about. By layering the product, it's just gonna become more intense and it's gonna stay in place better. Really beautiful with the sparkles, but yeah, I think it's limited edition, so I actually got it a while ago, so I don't think it's available anymore, but it's the same product as the original Shape Tape concealer. So I'm using this with a concealer brush right underneath the wing liner to make it look more smooth, to kind of clean up the eyeshadow which is underneath, and this is also just gonna make the wing liner look more sharp. And then now I'm taking my finger to blend it into my skin. I am going to apply my foundation off camera. I always do this after I have created my wing liner, and I always try to make sure that I don't touch the wing liner with foundation, because else I will kind of mess it up. So after doing this, I applied my foundation off camera, and then I continued with the matte liquid side, which we used all the way at the beginning to blend all over my crease. Now I'm using a Sigma Beauty flat definer brush, and I'm going to use that color to kind of press this underneath the lower lash line. Also, I'm making kind of like back and forth motions to kind of blend it at the same time. But now I'm going in with a tiny blending brush because I feel like that works just better, since the other brush is more like, well, I actually love the flat definer brush more for like applying the product, and then with a tiny blending brush I like to blend it out. It just works so much better since it's just a lot softer. Now applying a little bit of that shimmer liquid as well, just because I felt like something was missing, so applying a little bit of that as well. And then now I'm gonna take this pencil from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna use the copper side, which is so freaking beautiful. I have been using it now a few times on my YouTube channel for in the waterline, and it's just really beautiful, and it will make your eye color stand out. This is a limited edition, so I did wanted to mention that it's not going to be available forever. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes before I go in with any mascara. I always do this because it just makes... Now for my mascara I use the Givenchy Beauty Disturbia mascara. This is not a waterproof mascara, however, I do feel like, on me personally, it stays in place flawlessly. So it doesn't claim to be waterproof, but I think it actually is, but I'm not 100% sure. If you recreate this eye look, you can also go for a waterproof mascara to make sure that it's not gonna move. Just use any mascara that works for you. And if you want, you can also apply some fake lashes like I did. I use the House of Lashes lash adhesive, which is my absolute favorite, and it's gonna make sure that your lashes are gonna stay in place all day.